You are not getting rated, guys, but this is worthy of your attention. Welcome to 5 things you didn't know about Rimworld. Number 5. No legs, no breakdowns. Rimworld has some interesting mechanics regarding breakdowns. If you do not have any legs, you actually cannot break down. This might seem very simple, but can be very useful. For this specific test, we have 2 different colonists. Salmon having single passion, 10 medicine, and crab having 10 medicine, double passion. Now for your own colonist, I would not advise doing this unless you are late game and you have bionic legs, since you do not want to switch out perfectly fine legs with peg legs. Unless you are very desperate to make them not break down. For prisoners on the other hand, if it's a prisoner you do not want but merely want to keep around as a spare part machine, this is very useful. Not only do you get a lot of XP just doing the actual operation, but taking the legs away again afterwards on that said prisoner will make the prisoner incapable of moving, breaking out, breaking down, and he's simply just there for your entertainment. And as I said, not only does this benefit your medical skills, 1406 XP from just 2 peg legs? It's kinda crazy. Of course, you will reach your daily limit of XP gain incredible fast, but even with the 20% less, or only 20% maximum XP gain, you still get 1000 XP per time you do this. Now, that's an amazing way to level medicine, but not only that, you can keep around as many prisoners you want to and just have them on reduced resistance. This way you can actively gain social skill while you're leveling medical skill, and the only thing you have to do is to feed your colonists. Really simple, really easy, lots of medical skills, and plenty of social skills. Now as a comparison, doing this we gained, it was 4406 for the 2 peg legs. On the single passion and on the double passion, we gained upwards to 6200. The leveling a medical skilled colonist will never be a problem again. Number 4. This one might seem pretty simple, but it's something that you won't normally think about. Transport pods are a great way to store items. Of course, that's not the main purpose of the pod launchers, since you normally use these to just trade off things far away, carry around things far away, or simply just launch a raiding party. Now the transport pod and transport launcher does have another purpose, which is storage. Now one transport pod can hold 150 kilograms and does have the same properties of being indoors, which means if you load a pod but you don't launch it, you can have a lot of storage capacity. Now for this specific showcase, I have 5000 corn stockpiled in this transport pod. It could be anything you put in here, but 5000 corn is approximately this much. So great use if you're lacking storage. Build a transport pod and its pod launcher first, then the pod. Great usage of space. Of course, if you put meals, anything that can deteriorate in here, it will still deteriorate as if it's in a normal indoor room. So be careful about that if you put meals, pemmican even, and other things in there. People will die and down in the pods. But stuff like corn, or maybe even steel, components, things that never go bad. Corn does, but it takes a long time. Really neat trick to just stockpile mass amount of resources in a single space. Number 3. The Chimney Trick. You have most likely had a colony where you have your coolers being destroyed all the time, you run out of components, or at least you just spend way too much time and resources rebuilding, repairing, and just ripping out your hair because of it. Now with the Chimney Trick, everything is safe. Raiders will always go for your lowest HP items to finish off in a raid. Now coolers have the priority over everything because they're just low HP. Now, you can actually build these in a safe way. Just like this, if you have your freezer and your coolers right in the middle of said freezer and have unroofed tiles in the back, you can actively have your coolers getting rid of all the heat easily while cooling down the room and being in a very, very safe space. Additionally, if you want the best insulation, just have double walls. Double walls will insulate perfectly, stone being a bit better than wood though. And that's it. Why not just have a safe freezer or a safe anything else? This way your coolers will never get destroyed, unless you have a drop pod rate, of course. Number 2. Temperature door abuse. Rimworld mechanics regarding doors are quite interesting. A door will always have the average temperature between the rooms it's connected to. If you then have a room roofed, made out of stone, and only filled with doors, the temperature in here will stay constant and will not be affected by anything, unless it's a heat source or cold regenerated inside the room. As you can see, it's currently 810 Celsius, which is in freedom units just a lot. Just a whole ton. Now, the heat will go out of the walls, seeping out like normal Rimworld mechanics, but it cannot go in. This way we have this outside room being 123 Celsius, while having the outside being 22 Celsius. This can be used in many ways, and that's entirely up to you, but it could be kill boxing, it could be traps, it could be sea ice sheet. It's definitely an abuse, it's not getting patched out, and it can be very, very handy. Now, to set this up, what you need is a willing colonist, a ready room with, it can be any sized room or any shape and form, as long as it's stone walls all the way around, only one tile, and doors that are being kept open inside. Now, what you'll need to do is simply just fill it with whatever that can burn. Could be corpses even. Just fill that up nice and easy. Just like that. Yeah, a little bit extra wood. There we go. Oh, a little bit more. A little bit more. So you fill up the room as much as possible. You have a Molotov, and the last tile is almost done, because you want to throw a Molotov in there and just close it as fast as possible. Now, the fire can't go out if you close it too fast, but if you hit like this, it should be more than enough. So what you do now, you finish the wall, you have that enclosed area, it'll start burning, and as you can see, the temperature is going up. The temperature might fluctuate up and down while burning, but it will definitely stabilize. And when it gets hot enough, it will also start to self-incinerate everything else in there. So even if it goes out now, which I'm to be honest not quite sure why it does that, then it will catch on fire again, nice and slowly. Now the doors are a little bit weird, because this is a room, but since it's just doors, the roof will hold in the temperature, but it won't stop the rain. So as soon as it stops raining, this will catch on fire again. So 560 Celsius right now, and it's stable. As you can see in the other one over here, it's still 810 and 120. Well, of course this one out here will fluctuate since it's connected to outside and no doors in here. You can also do this with coals. Now this is quite interesting and can definitely be used in many different ways to either have a permanent non-energy using freezer, or also as a trap kill box kind of thing. So same principle. If you have a room full of doors like this, the temperature is constant. Now to make this with coals is super easy. The only thing you need is a little bit of power and a cooler in place. Set the cooler to as low as possible, or whatever you desire. Have it pumping, cooling, and just wait. As you can see, it's stuck at minus 222 degrees. And on the inside here, it's minus 93. Of course, as a freezer, you might not want that. It's just an example. You can set it to whatever, and then kind of play around with what temperature you want in the room. It will vary depending on the room size, how well you insulate it, and what you do with it. And that's it. As you can see, it's still trying to self-incinerate down here, but because of the door mechanics, the fire is actually getting put out. But the temperature is still rising every single time something burns. Now there's plenty of ways to get this filled up with more stuff if you want to reach temperatures like 2000 Celsius. But if you want to know more about that, just check the description below, because I'm streaming on Twitch almost every day and I'll explain everything in depth. Number 1. Wall glitching. This specific glitch has many purposes, and you can use it for many things, but mainly this is used for remote speedrunning or just clearing out ancient dangers. Now the way this works mechanically is that you can build on the tile you're standing on, and if you build yourself in a block, you will just get pushed out to the nearest available tile. Now to do this specifically, we have this setup. We'll queue up the tasks, wall ourselves in, and then we'll get pushed into set. Could be a random room, could be an ancient danger, or could be a raid building you're trying to get into. While you're in there, you can actually not click your colonist because he is out of bounds. You can click him on the top, draft him, and actually make him attack things on the inside. This is primarily used in ancient danger clearing if you want to make it really easy, and also just cheese the hell out of it, since mechanoids, hives, anything in here that's not humanoid will not fight back if you're in here and melee fighting it, making ancient danger farming trivial, easy, and quite abusive, to be honest. For more in-depth description of this and explanation, check out my other YouTube video called How to Ancient Danger, where I'll be explaining everything, how this works, what you can do with it, and how amazing it actually is. Thank you all for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any of these tips and tricks that you learn a little bit from, I'll be very happy. If you need some more in-depth explanation of how any of them work, feel free to ask me in the comment section below, or visit me on my Twitch in the description below as well. Thank you all for tuning in, and before you leave, remember to hit that subscribe button and the little bell. It helps me a lot. Thank you for your patience, and see you next time.